Hey guys, welcome to Money Control, to yet another episode on crypto and all things blockchain, where we cover the latest news, views, and developments that have happened within the segment. Joining us on the show today is Siddharth Sogani, who's MD and CEO at Kribaco. Siddharth, hi, very warm welcome to the segment here. And even as winters has just about started for the world over, but for crypto as a segment, it has been a crypto winter for 2022. What is an impact that you have seen in the Indian markets in the year gone by?
So in from 2020 to January, we have entered into the winters, crypto winters, where cryptos usually go sideways. This cycle we experience every 18 to 24 months. But in the last 6 months, we have witnessed about 6 to 7 I would say scams and a lot of incidents like the FTX, Celsius, Terra Luna, all these rug pulls have happened, which have collectively made us lose about $65 billion from the market. A lot of market sentiment has become negative overall. Even in India, since the regulations are awaited, but the taxes have been announced, and the taxes are quite stringent. They don't allow set-offs, because of which the Indian exchanges have lost about 95% of their trading volumes. So it's going. I would say it's not going bad because the entire industry is anticipating another bull run in the end of 2023. But the investor sentiment is bad.
Oh, clearly. And as you mentioned, even as the profits for crypto are being taxed in India, we still are awaiting for regulations. And there are various reports that are suggesting that since India has a presidency over G20 this time around, one of the agenda is the crypto regulation for world, because clearly it is beyond boundaries, and crypto clearly needs to be seen as one when you look at the global markets. So what are your expectations with the kind of work that is being done around the globe, and what can be expected from this?
Well, Bitcoin is a global currency, or exchange, or a store value. Some people call it commodity. So I don't want to get into that debate though. But since it is something which is global in nature, it must have some kind of a global regulation in place. And I'm totally expecting something interesting to happen in the G20 summit coming in the coming year. But what needs to be understood by all, even the users and the governments and the citizens at the same time, is that crypto cannot be regulated because it's regulated by its own code, by its own protocol. The supply is fixed, the way it is minted, all those things cannot be changed. But the use of crypto, wherever crypto is interacting with, say you want to buy a car, right, and you are paying in crypto, that is the point which can be regulated, which where the fiat world, or the where the INR or US dollars, those things get converted with crypto. That is the gateway. Exchanges being the major gateways, those are the places which require regulation. Taxation guidelines, all these things must be regulated. But the challenge for the global ecosystem right now is to regulate DeFi, decentralized finance, because it's uh, it's not run by an exchange, it's not run by a centralized body, it is a network, right? So that is a challenge, but I'm sure there are ways to get around it.
Hmm. Siddharth, as you mentioned in your opening comments itself, that for India in this year as compared to last year, same time, we are 95% down on volumes. I mean, I was looking at the chart that you sent us. A big decline came in between March and April when the taxations came into view. And then October to November has been a big decline as well, November to December as well. How do you look at these numbers, which we see in a very phased manner?
See, a few things came in together, right? The global market conditions aren't very supportive.
Right.
The Ukraine Russia thing came in. We all know that the FTX, Celsius, all these big exchanges went down, and
Right.
the taxation in India also came in. So I don't think so. If you're making good money and you have to pay 30% tax, that's all right. But in the same time, these exchanges who are dependent on Indian customers, there is not any new money coming in. So this has become like a, I would say it's like a undertow. We need to uh, expect and experience better market sentiments for new people to come in, so that trading volumes start. Because if I had bought my Bitcoin in 2020 January, I'm at a loss, so I don't want to sell it. And since the market expectations are negative, I'm not putting in new money.
Hmm.
So that is impacting the volume uh, terribly.
Absolutely. So even as you mentioned, there have been these collapses and rug pulls, and the macro scenario also went down. For the Indian markets, it also was about investments in, or rather, investigations in near 10 cryptocurrency exchanges in India as well. So everywhere that you look, the mood clearly becomes sour here. How is that developing now? What is the latest update on that? That is something that the investors are, of course, keeping an eye on as well.
Yes, in absence of any regulation, for these exchanges to operate becomes a challenge, because there are no clear guidelines how to report your holdings. There is a new thing called proof of reserves, which have come into picture since the FTX collapse happened. So exchanges are now in a in a uh, thing that they want to prove that they have the reserves, they have the funds with them, but there are no guidelines. One of the exchanges in India did a proof of reserve a few weeks ago. The auditor, we've never heard of that auditor, right? There are no clear guidelines how they are calculating these things. We approached a lot of exchanges to do a proof of reserve, but they are skeptical because our way of assessment is different, other auditors. So there's a lot of transparency gap in absence of regulations. If the regulator comes in and says that, this is these are the wallet addresses, these are the exchange addresses, you have to evaluate all these. This is the real time, parameters which must be adhered to. Then it will be a different case. So, in absence of regulations, there will only be investigations.
Absolutely. So that the other thing, and it's not just the cryptocurrencies which are seeing a sell-off or the volume or the participation in the Indian markets, but the overall technology, would you say, is also taking a bit of a hit? Because one of the data indicates that the investment in crypto startups also has declined by 75% as compared to the previous year.
Yes. So what happens is, investors commit, say, I invest $10 million in your company. That's a commitment. But I will first give you just $2 million. I'll tell you that, what, achieve 10,000 users first. Then I'll give you. So, it's all milestone based drawdowns. Now, the commitments were made, but the milestones aren't getting met because the market sentiment is bad, regulations aren't favorable. So the new investments, the new money from the investors' side to burn is not coming in. That's one of the clear reasons why we are not seeing any new crypto advertisements, right? It was there in the IPL all last year. Every ad used to have a crypto ad. Now we don't have it because these guys are very calculative when it comes to advertising expenditure. Because if they are doing any advertisements, they cannot expect any users, so the ROI on their advertisement cost isn't that great. So this is one of the reasons why investments have gone down in the crypto space.
Mm. Well, yet another area, so that has been the NFTs. And until last year and the beginning of this year as well, almost everybody, whether it was cricketers, music composers, movie stars, everybody wanted to be a part of NFTs. That also seems to be disappearing right now with the kind of cost decline or interest that we have seen in NFTs. That also is going through a winter, would you say?
um yes, NFTs are going through a winter, definitely. The Bored Ape was once sold at 3.4 million. I think CryptoPunk was sold at $23.4 million now, which is gone down to I think less than $1 million now. 700K or something is the last traded price, which is in my knowledge. Now, why this has happened is, one, because these NFTs were priced in Ether, and the
Mm.
Ether prices have gone down by 65-70% since its all-time high. And also, the entire market sentiment is negative. But at the same time, NFTs are here to stay. You know, we saw the first NFT coming into life in 2014, 2015, and now NFTs have now evolved to different categories. So it's like even my personal user data can be stored as an NFT, which is also known as soul bound tokens, SBTs, in the crypto world. So now, if I want to keep my data on the blockchain, I must have a soul bound token, which is also an NFT. So NFTs, I think we've just scratched the surface. NFTs have a lot to come. And if you know, I have say 10,000 followers on Twitter and people like my tweets and stuff like that. I have a good fan following. The market sentiment does not impact my fans or my users. If my NFT has a use case, the market sentiments don't directly impact. So and of course NFTs are now getting traded with fiat as well. You know, there was a time where NFT, you could buy an NFT only with crypto, but now many artists and celebrities, they are selling their NFTs against credit card, bank, UPI. All these things are accepted. So there is a transition, but I think the next bull run, NFTs and soulbound tokens would be an integral part of it.
Mm. So that leaves us with what is expected now going forward. How long do you think this winter can last? What is one thing that you take away from 2022, and what are you looking forward in 2023 now?
I think this winter will last for another 6 to 8 months. We are anticipating a recession, an official recession, in the second or third quarter of 2023. So we are keeping our eyes on the yield curve. You know how the U.S. market performs. So Uh, definitely till 2023 second half, we are going to witness a winter. This time it's different. It's not like how it used to be. Even in the normal financial markets, this is a very unprecedented situation. But yeah, 2023 end, we are looking at a turnaround because the next Bitcoin block halving is in 2024. And usually, what we have seen so far, if that continues to happen, we would see a turnaround in the market by the end of 2023. So this coming year, I'm not seeing a lot of action. What I would take away from 2022 is number one, stick to Bitcoin. Majority of your crypto holdings must be in Bitcoin because it's been there, it will be there, it is very much stable, and it has a very good use case when it comes to store of value. Don't There is nothing such as quick money. Don't get into new tokens which are coming in, who promise you a lot of things. The network and the user base of any product, any service, any blockchain must be big enough for it to survive during the tough times. So be very careful. And yeah, one more thing very important is not your keys, not your coins. Whatever money you have in any of the exchanges, if you're holding it for a longer duration, withdraw it from the exchanges and keep it with yourself, because you don't know that exchange may default. But if it is withdrawn and kept in your non-custodial wallet, it is with you.
Oh, well, absolute golden words and so many learnings from 2022. But we take your word that 6 to 8 months is where this winter could last. And 2023, by the end of next year, perhaps we would be in a good mood and perhaps a sun shining through your windows there. Siddharth Sagani, as always, pleasure talking to you. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Manisha. Bye bye.